Alright, in this video we'll talk about for loop in Python. Okay, so I'll try to get an output of 1 to 5. So output would be numbers 1 to 5. Okay, so for that I'll take for loop for I in range is the function, and then I'll specify 1, 6. Okay, and put a colon, that is the syntax over there, and then simply print the value of A. Okay, so remember we are trying to get numbers 1 till 5, and then I'm simply using this piece of code, only 2 lines of code for I in range, and I'm giving the range which should start with 1 and end with 5. So we are taking 6 here. Okay, and then print. So just run and see. Okay, if you look at this is 1 till 5. Okay, now why did I take, when I'm saying 1 till 5, why did I take 6? Python never considers the upper limit, so you have to always consider one number above whatever you want to print. Okay, now I'll just make a change here. If I want to print 1 till, we'll just check what if I give 1 till 5. Okay, 1, 5, 2 parameters I'm passing, and will still run. See, it is not considering the second argument, but it is considering one number lesser than that. So that is the reason if you look at the output, you are getting 4 there. Okay. Now this is the 2 argument, 1 till 5, using 2 arguments or parameters in the range function. Range function. Okay, now I'll use 1 argument using the range function. Okay, now I'll simply say 5. Now this will give you an output, only 1 argument we are using now. Okay, the first one is done. So this is using for loop with 1 argument. Okay, so 1 argument, let's see what happens. I'll run this. So it says 0 to 4. So it has run, the for loop has run for 5 times though, but it starts with a 0. So whenever you have only 1 argument within your range function, it starts with a 0. So the starting value is 0, and it will iterate or loop through whatever the number you pass on in the range function. Okay, so this is about a single parameter. Now what I will do is I'll take 3 parameters for I in range. I'll start with 1, 6 and 1. Okay, I'll simply print the value of I. Okay, so what is expected is the same as the previous one. I'll just put it as 1, 6 Okay, and then I have two for loops which are running. Let's compare both of them. If you look at this, 1 to 5 and 1 to 5 both are one and the same. Okay, now what I will do is to make a difference, which means in the previous, when you give two arguments, here the step or the increment is by default 1. Okay, now I'll change the step parameter, which is the third parameter. So 1, I will make it 2. Let's check the output. Run. Okay, so it gives us 1, 3 and 5, correct? So because the starting number is 1, it has added that 2, which makes it 3, and then once the 3 is there, it will add 2 more, it becomes 5. So obviously it will not consider 6, doesn't give 6 as an output, and it doesn't consider it as the last argument is not considered. So and moreover 5 plus 2 is 7, it's not 6, so it is not a part of the output. Okay, now I'll be explaining. This is printing numbers and all that, so I'll explain you how to loop through the string. Okay, string is, for example, I'm talking about Python. Okay, I want to print each character here starting with P, then it will be Y, T, H, O and N. Okay, so looping through a string. So how does your Python program recognize each of the character is by its index? Okay, now the index of P is 0, index always starts with the 0. Okay, and then Y is 1, T is 2, so it keeps on incrementing until the last one. Okay, H is 3, O is 4 and N is 5. So there are 6 characters in Python, and the index of the last character, which is N, is 5. So because we started with 0, it ends, so 6 indices we have got there. Okay, now how do we loop through this? Okay, this is really easy. For I in word. Okay, so what I will do is I'll take the word as Python, and we are looping through in the word, and what I will do is I'll print I. So I will give me each character in the word. Okay, I'll just run this and show, see, Python. So every time it has looped through, it has given me each character. So it started with P and then Python is printed until N. Okay, now I'll just change this and put my name. Okay, so let's see what happens. I'll take it as an uppercase, yeah, and let's see what happens. Okay, see, now I want to check if B is there or not. If I equals B, okay, and then print we found B. Okay, I'll run this. So it has printed, because B is not in uppercase, it didn't find it. Now I'll change this as uppercase B and let's see, run. Okay, so it says we found B. As soon as, obviously I have to change it to uppercase. Okay, so It says we found B as soon as it iterated for the first time. Hope this helps.